your CIGTV News Update. I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us. Sad news tonight. The Cayman Islands has lost another important public figure. Longtime former member of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. John McLean Sr., OBE, passed away on Saturday. On Monday, all Cayman Islands and Union flags were flown at half-mast on all government buildings and will be flown again at half-mast 2 days before his funeral. Now, today we spoke with Speaker of the House, the Honorable Makiva Bush, who served in the Legislative Assembly with Mr. McLean for most of his career.
I've worked with John McLean Sr. when we got elected. I was elected in 1984, and that put them in opposition. But we still worked together, even though we were on opposite sides. We simply felt that we had to work together to do what was the right thing for people. And John McLean certainly made a tremendous impact on the East End community, as when he got elected, there was not a lot. And he really worked hard to get things done for the people of East End.
Mr. McLean, a well-known Caymanian politician, was first elected back in 1976 and served as an MLA and government minister for more than 2 decades. Premier the Honorable Alden McLaughlin says, "It is with sadness that I recognize the passing of the Honorable Mr. John Bonwell McLean, MLA, MEC, on Saturday the 24th of August. He was devoted to the East End community, which he represented in the Legislative Assembly from 1976 to 2000. Mr. McLean was elected at a very young age, served 3 times as minister, and did 6 terms as an elected member. He served on the Executive Council, which is now called Cabinet, and advocated for development throughout the Cayman Islands. In his district of East End, he's credited with the development of 2 civic centers, which have served the people in that district well during natural disasters. He also initiated the road, which bears his name in East End. During his tenure, he had responsibility for agriculture, lands, natural resources, communications, environment, and works. Mr. McLean was an avid farmer, being recognized many times during various agricultural shows. He was a true Caymanian and will be sorely missed. May his soul rest in peace," end quote. And we also convey our condolences to the family of the Honorable Mr. John McLean Sr. Finally, this evening, amateur photographers are invited to become official DG's 5K photojournalists at this year's upcoming events. Volunteers will be part of a great cause, have an opportunity to have their work featured, and build their portfolios. Now, volunteers may contribute through photos, videos, articles, news reports, interviews, and event reports. Now, once selected, citizen journalists will receive information guidelines and other important information at photojournalism workshops. Workshops are scheduled to be held on Friday the 13th of September for Cayman Brac volunteers and Friday the 27th of September for Grand Cayman volunteers. Please register your interest to join the DG 5K team of photojournalists. Registration deadlines are the 11th of September for Cayman Brac and the 25th of September for Grand Cayman. Well, if you'd like to know what's on our CIG television schedule, you can go online to gis.gov.ky. Be sure to click on the publications icon at the bottom of the page. If you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, wishing you a safe and wonderful night and hoping to see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.
I'm Jody Ann Fowry. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!